Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and hello to you. Welcome back to another video. Live telly. When it works, it's amazing. When it doesn't, it fails spectacularly. They say you should never work with children or animals, and judging by some of the clips that went viral, they're not wrong. We'll leave the kids for another video and focus purely today on the animals. So, here are 10 animals behaving badly on live TV. Number 10. Kitten wants love. It was a Monday morning when news reporter Nima Shaffer was in Washtenaw County ready to report on, well, I don't have a clue really, when a stray kitten wanted some love. This adorable little kitten melted everyone's heart and was an instant hit on social media. This kitten, named Lucky 7 by the team, was taken to the Humane Society of Huron Valley to be placed up for adoption. Look at her. I'm sure she was adopted in no time. What a perfect way to start a Monday morning.
Exception. Our Nima Shaffer is live in Washtenaw County, where Nima,
Hi,
we
bud.
understand.
Hi, bud.
Oh, there's your
Hi,
new friend. Who's that,
He was
Nima?
trying to go for my makeup. This is Alley Cat. We're gonna call him 7 Cat and call him WXYZ. He's gonna be our new mascot.
Number 9. Gecko jumps on news reporter. On NBC5 News in Texas, they were talking to a local reptile enthusiast who had brought in a few of his reptiles. The reptile enthusiast was giving facts about Texas rat snakes and how they're not cold-blooded killers, when it went very wrong very quickly. You think the snake is going to be the issue, but no. The snake was surprisingly well behaved. It's actually the leaf-tailed gecko that's the issue. The gecko, that was sat on the log, jumped onto the news reporter, scaring him half to death and making him fall over on his backside. The audience and the reptile enthusiast burst out laughing as the news reporter gets up. The news reporter tries to bring the segment back on track but ends up laughing. The gecko must have been really fed up with that snake always having the spotlight, so decided to steal it for itself, and frankly, I kind of don't blame it, if that's the case, of course.
Texas rat snakes are going to be one of the largest snakes that you find in the Metroplex area. What the Get this thing off me, man. Get this thing off me, man. God dang. What is this thing jumping at me for, man? He likes you. Yeah, I can tell, man.
Number 8. Reporter attacked by pig. Lazas Montikos was reporting live from the town of Kinta in Greece for a local Greek TV channel, Antenna TV. He was reporting about the severe flooding that happened in the area when he got attacked by a large pig.
Καλημέρα, έχουμε ένα θέμα. Γιώργο, μ' ακούς? Έχουμε ένα γουρούνι εδώ πέρα το οποίο μας κυνηγάει από το πρωί.
Obviously, this rather large pig had gotten out and had some form of vendetta against news reporters. Luckily, no one was hurt, and at least the team in the studio saw the funny side of it. Number 7. Guide dog at Chelsea. We head to my home country of the United Kingdom for our next entry on the list. Weather reporter Carol Kirkwood is doing a little segment from the Chelsea Flowers Show about how this year, 2021, it's being held in September for the first time. Carol is also explaining that it's the 90th anniversary of the charity Guide Dogs for the Blind, and that they have a commemorative garden this year at Chelsea. We then get introduced to Flash, who's getting lots of fuss from Carol. So far, so good. The segment is running smoothly. She even gets time to tell us how the first guide dogs weren't Labradors, but in fact 4 German Shepherds. However, as soon as Carol finishes the weather report, Flash gets a little impatient and tries to chew on Carol's cables. Flash gets bored with this and then heads back to her handler, dragging poor Carol with her.
Thank you very much for that, Carol. See you later on.
I think Flash has just spotted a treat. Look, she's gone. She's gone.
We've got a Kirkwood down. We've got a Kirkwood down. Someone save Carol.
Flash is strong.
Number 6. For the love of dogs. Husband and wife team, Ruth Langsford and Eamon Holmes, are presenting this particular week on This Morning. They share their hosting duties with Holly and Phil. More on them later. Comedian Paul O'Grady joins Ruth and Eamon on a straw sofa as they talk about Paul's chaotic life in the country and about his animals. Later in the interview, they move on to talking about his show, Paul O'Grady, For the Love of Dogs. This show is about Paul going to Battersea Dogs Home and meeting all the dogs and hearing their heartbreaking stories. If you haven't watched this show, I highly recommend it. It's a bit of a tearjerker at times, but it's full of happy moments as well.
We need to do a behaviour assessment of them, just so we know what type of characters they are, what sort of homes they'll be suitable for.
Just get out of it. No, none of that, thank you. I'd recommend very patient owners.
Paul brings in 2 dogs, a terrier called Thelma and a Saluki called Louise. Paul tells the heartbreaking story about them being dumped on the roadside together and how they're having trouble rehoming them because they must be adopted together. It all goes wrong very quickly. Louise spots the plastic cat that someone put under the small wooden cart and is completely fascinated by it. Meanwhile, Thelma decides to have a wee on the sofa twice. Everyone is laughing as Paul does his best to carry on.
This was a bad idea. Whoever put a plastic cat
there? She's off now, and oh, look at the plastic. But they were dumping. Oh, she's having a wee on the house.
She's having a wee.
I'm trying to give you 2 the hard sell here. They make a show of me.
Would they have to go as a pair?
The thing is, they're inseparable. They absolutely love each other. Now look at her, fascinated with the cat.
Number 5. Giraffe gets excitable. For our next American clip, we go to San Diego.
San Diego.
San Diego?
Reporter Ashley Jacobs is reporting live from San Diego Zoo.
San Diego Zoo.
And was reporting on the gala and wildlife conservation fundraiser that would be taking place. Ashley was trying to explain what it was and about the food, wine and brew celebrations, but was interrupted by a very naughty 9-month-old giraffe. This giraffe, whose name isn't specified, was nudging and gently headbutting Ashley. Both her and the presenters in the studio collapsed laughing as the young giraffe tried to get a little frisky with her.
I have a seat, please.
Are you okay?
You're my personal
Ashley?
I'm good.
Barini, she's married.
Oh my gosh.
She's married.
And he's like 9 months old too. He's getting a little frisky.
Number 4. Dog takes microphone. Over in Russia, weather forecaster Nadizhda Sreskina was reporting from the capital of Moscow. She was in the middle of her live weather report for TV channel Mir 24 when her microphone is stolen by a passing golden retriever. Nadizhda chases after the dog and finally gets her microphone back with bite marks out of the phone. The dog is happily being fussed by her as she finishes her weather report.
Будут показывать на этой неделе до 8 плюс 9 градусов. Стоять! Иди сюда! Эй, стой! Стой! Стоять! Ну, судя по всему, связь с нашим корреспондентом прервалась. Сейчас мы снова попытаемся с ней связаться.
Number 3. Brody interrupts weather report. For our final clip from the US, we head over to Florida, and this is so adorable. Paul D'Agato, the meteorologist for Fox 13 at Tampa Bay, was working from home like many people did at the time. Paul was getting ready to play the weather graphics until his golden retriever, Brody, stole the show. He accidentally broke the maps, so they wouldn't work at all. Paul carries on regardless and gives Brody some fuss while he presents the weather. Brody, however, gets bored of fusses and decides to go say hello to cameraman Craig, who is stood outside of the office window.
4:45 with... Oh boy. Oh boy. You know, she's jumping up looking for Craig outside the window.
Oh, don't take this the wrong way, Paul, but this is amazing and great. I love it.
Number 2. The spitting alpaca. Back to this morning and the other hosts, Holly Willoughby and Philip Schofield. If you've ever watched this show, be that on TV or clips on YouTube, you'll know that animal segments usually don't end well. This segment involved 2 alpacas called Pete and Spitfire, and they were there to help educate people on the differences between alpacas and llamas.
Llamas and alpacas are South American camelids.
Oh, I expect so.
Camelids, and they're related, but they're definitely not the same. Llamas are much bigger than alpacas. Apparently, alpacas have straight and pointed ears, and llamas have long banana-shaped ones.
Oh.
Show-offs.
Have you got a lot?
Huh?
Have you got a lot there?
I've got one more fact. And alpacas have a blunt nose face with lots of fur, whether llamas have long noses and less fur. So that's how you can tell the difference between your llamas and your alpacas.
Before they came on air, one of the alpacas looked Phil right in the face and spat at him. Surprisingly, it was Pete, not Spitfire, Even though you would have imagined with a name like Spitfire, it would have been him. Holly decides to leave Phil holding both alpacas as they went live, trying not to laugh in the process. Pete carries on spitting through the entire segment, then decides to try and have another go at Phil towards the end. Meanwhile, Holly is killing herself laughing and Phil soon joins her. Thank God this segment is short because they need a minute or two to compose themselves afterwards.
Once is okay, twice is unacceptable. Stop it. Don't look at me like that. Pete, stop it. Now calm down.
Oh my God, stop. Oh my God, can I make a request? Can we have a few days with no animals in the studio, please?
Number 1. Pelican hates the weatherman. We head over to Australia for our final animal today. Weatherman for Channel 9's Today Show, Steve Jacob, was at Taronga Zoo. He was doing a piece on the pelicans that will feature in the new Sea Lions show that aims to represent the biodiversity of Australia's coastal wildlife.
A bit of a fish, and both cultures are represented here as well. Marnie is an Aboriginal name meaning fisherman, and this is Darren over here, which is an Australian name meaning I drive a ute. Okay, well...
After introducing us to Marnie and Darren, Steve starts to present the weather. Halfway through, Marnie obviously thinks Steve is doing a bad job and to everyone's delight decides to give some friendly encouragement, shall we say. No one was hurt, and luckily after one of the keepers moved Marnie away, everyone saw the funny side of it, with one of the hosts of Channel 9's Today Show saying, not the first time, he's been pinched in the bum by a bird.
WA through to the southwest of Queensland. Another trough also lies through South Australia, extending into the Southern Ocean while an associated cold front brushes the south.
You love it. You love it.
So, what do you think? Which animal do you think behaved the worst, and would you be able to deal with a naughty animal live on TV? Let me know in the comments below. Credit to all the presenters on this list though, they did very well to carry on considering. Also, who knew pelicans were that savage? Shove your guard dogs. Guard pelicans, I think, are in order. Anyway, if you liked the video, don't forget to drop it a like. If you want more videos like this, then hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell icon so you never miss a video. I'm also on Twitter and Instagram, so feel free to follow me there as well. Links are in the description below. Thank you for watching, and until next time, DJ, drop the bass!
I'ma keep on falling